It is Saturday, July 23rd in the MLB, and I'm Austin from Calling Our Shot.
And I'm Logan from Calling Our Shot.
And we are back with our three best picks of the day. We got, or actually four. We got 2 game picks, 1 player prop, and 1 door in first inning coming your guys' way.
You guys already know what to do. Go down, hit that subscribe button real quick for us. It really helps Austin and I grow these channels, right? Look, it's a Saturday morning. We're recording these videos for us. We're going to make some absolute money today.
Yeah, that's why we got 4 picks today. So before we hop into our 4 picks, let's do a recap from yesterday. It was a 1 and 2 today. I mean, you got a lot of slack for the Cubs, but they showed up. It was a no sweat bet. They absolutely put the hammer down on the Cubs, on the Phillies, winning like 15-2, but they covered that first 5-run line easily. The other Chicago team, and it was a no sweat bet either. They got absolutely Giolito's turkey tossing, and then if you watched our Astros Mariners NRFI, you know you didn't have to sweat that one out at all. That was the first batter home run from Altuve. But we're going to keep getting back into it. NRFI Nation, we're going to keep flying those flags. But like I said, we got 4 picks today, Logan. You got 2 of them. What is the first pick you got for the people today? Also, hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, we've got 2 run lines. Let's start with the little bit more obvious run line pick that I'm making. We're going to the Brewers versus Rockies game, and I am taking the Brewers -1.5. Currently -120 odds on BetMGM, as Austin's showing right here. I mean, FanDuel's got it juiced to 140. I wouldn't take that. I'd try to get it in the 120 range if you can. I think a lot of people are going to be on Rockies today. I mean, look, the Brewers won 6-5 in 13 innings last night, right? They had several, chances to win that game. And I mean, they finally did pull through in the 13th inning, but they did not cover this run line. But you know what happens when you have a 13-inning game? Both teams have to expend a lot of bullpen arms, right? And whose bullpen to me is going to be hurting a little bit more? I think it's going to be Colorado, right? On the year, Milwaukee 13th in bullpen ERA, Colorado 27th in the bullpen ERA. Look, I'm not sitting here trying to tell you who Colorado is going to start in their bullpen or who's going to be able to be ready today. But you know what? If Milwaukee's seen these arms, if they want to toss, a guy out back to back, it is what it is. I just know that Colorado's bullpen provides a lot of run opportunities, whereas Milwaukee has been pretty, better than middle of the pack, in bullpen. So we're starting in the bullpens. Now let's talk about who the starting pitchers are. And yes, it is my boy, Jose Urena. We've been trying to fade him to a win. We actually haven't been successful yet, but you know what? The Urena implosion's coming, right? In his most recent start, looking at his numbers, 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, versus the Pittsburgh Pirates for what that's worth. But look at his last 3, 0, 2, and 1 earned runs in each of his last 3 starts. Urena rocking a 2.05 ERA. It's so much better than he actually is. But a 1.41 whip, he will regress to give up more runs. It's not even a bold prediction, right? He's a really erratic pitcher. He's always chewing the bubble gum on the mound. He's a really funny guy to watch, actually. But I think Urena gets hit today. Milwaukee 10th in OPS at home. They're a decent offense at home. Look, I know they thrive on the home run ball, but today, Urena might be walking a few guys into scoring position, which they should be able to capitalize on. And I trust Woodruff to be able to hold it down on his end. 2.2 ERA at home this year. Woodruff, a really solid pitcher. Colorado 28th in hits on the road, 29th in runs on the road. This offense to me overachieved, yesterday. Considering how many runs they put up in a Burns showing, I bet a lot of people probably took the Rockies team total under and got hurt by that. But you know what? Rockies 24th in batting average and 27th in OPS on the road. So this is you understand what I'm doing here. I'm fading Urena. I'm fading the Rockies bullpen, and I expect the Brewers to get it done for us to cover the run line. But Austin, what do you got for your player prop today?
Yeah, so we're back to player props, and that's what we're going to give you guys today. And I'm going to a game that wasn't very competitive yesterday. I'm going to the Blue Jays Red Sox game and taking Bichette over 1.5 bases at -110 on FanDuel. Now, we do see a couple more books, a little bit more juiced. I don't mind that. I also think you could get decent value, like +165 for him to get 2+ hits today. Because I swear, whenever I take a base prop, we're going to need 2+ hits. I always only get singles. But today, Bichette's been a guy that's been pretty kind to us in the player prop department. I think he gets it done. Now, like I said, Bichette and basically every other Blue Jays batter hit their over 1.5 bases yesterday as they did bad things to the Red Sox, and I don't want to mention any more of that. I know if you bet the Red Sox yesterday, this is a safe space. We won't make fun of you. But Bichette has been very good on the road this year, and that's why we're taking him. He's actually at this over 1.5 bases in 16 of his last 25 road games. And like I said, he's going to bat near the top of the lineup. He actually batted cleanup yesterday, so he's going to see 4 plate appearances. And if the Blue Jays do get some runners on base, could see potentially 5 plate appearances. I think it would have seen 7 or 8 yesterday if he played the whole game. Now, Bichette's also been very good at Fenway Park. Obviously, we know this one's at Fenway, not in Toronto. Batting .366 in his career at Fenway. He has 10 extra base hits, 5 doubles, 5 home runs in 17 games there. And he's had 2+ bases in 12 of 17 games. So I don't know what he does, but he really likes to play at Fenway, and we're fine with that. Now on the mound for the Red Sox will be Cutter Crawford. Now, Cutter Crawford has never seen Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette's never seen Cutter Crawford, so it's not like they have a lot of experience together. In fact, I believe only one Blue Jays ever had an at-bat versus Cutter Crawford. But we look at Crawford, he's going to throw 41.6% fastball, 30% cutter. So, I mean, obviously he throws the cutter, but we look at Bichette's splits against those: 272 versus the four-seamer and then 250 versus the cutter. So not the best, not the worst in the world. Bichette's a very even hitter on basically every single pitch, right around that 250 to like 280 mark on every single pitch. And we look at Crawford. First start from the All-Star break, likely not going to go too far into this game. His strikeout prop is only 4.5. It's like plus 115. So they aren't thinking he's going to pitch a gem. He's actually hit that over in strikeouts pretty frequently over the past 3 starts with like 6, 6, and 8. So I don't think they think he pitches terrific today, but he's not going to go too far. And then when he cuts out of the game, Boston's bullpen, which is second worst in the AL, and has the third highest whip in the AL as well. I think there's a lot of opportunities for Bo Bichette today. I think he gets those over 1.5 bases, whether it's 2 singles, a home run, a double, maybe even a triple. I think Bo Bichette gets it done. So we're riding with you, Mr. Bo Bichette, over 1.5 bases. But Logan, what's your second pick for the people?
Yeah, another run line, as I mentioned. This one's more of a line reading run line, right? Going to the Angels Braves games, and I am taking the Angels plus 1.5 versus the Braves. Minus 110 odds on FanDuel, as Austin's showing here, the classic minus 110 that I love to see on the run line, right? Now let's start with the line reading pick. And if you're like, Logan, I just hate line reading, I hate what you did with the Cubs yesterday, line reading that one, then fine, don't tail it. But this is a classic fade the public play. 94% of the money and 85% of the bets are on Atlanta run line. What could go wrong? It's in everybody's parlays today. What could go wrong, right? I personally love, it's kind of been my season-long experiment. I love taking teams on the plus 1.5 road run line at minus 110 this season. Feel like it's been the classic trap that the books have been laying. It's hit more often than not. And you know what? Considering what Atlanta just did last night, they won 8-1. It's going to be a lot of confidence, a lot of blind faith in betting, Braves and everyone's parlays. I'm just telling you, it's going to be just click it. You add your parlay leg and you're like, I'm done. I'm not thinking about it. But that's not how baseball works. Patrick Sandoval's pitching today for the Angels. He's been really solid, 3.05 road ERA. Now, the whip has been a little bit higher, 1.41 whip on the road. So that's a little bit higher. But you know what? Look at Sandoval's last 5 starts. And I know we're normally only pull 3, but I'm pulling 5 to show you how, just consistent he normally is. 2, 1, 5, 1, and 1 earned runs in each of his last 5 starts. He's usually a pitcher I can trust. I mean, there's a lot of 2s and a lot of 1s in his game logs. He got the bomb 5 earned run type performance in there. But you know what? Any pitcher has those meltdown type games. Sandoval, a really steady pitcher. And he is a lefty, right? Atlanta, batting .259 against lefties on the season. But you know what? That's actually dropped a little bit to .238 in July. So for what that's worth, their bats aren't exactly, as hot as they had been. And look, if you don't think those percentages matter, in batting average, that .259 is like 7th in the MLB. But if that .238 would be in the 20s. So I'm just saying batting average does matter. And, every little point matters. I think Patrick Sandoval is in line for a really solid start today. And on the other side, we got Kyle Wright. I can't trust Kyle Wright. Now, despite his 3.09 ERA at home this season, you look at that ERA and it's 2.95 ERA. ERA to me is like one of the most deceiving stats, right? And he actually does have a solid whip. So it's like, what don't I like about him? Well, in his last 3 starts, I'm looking at these numbers, 2, 3, and 0 in runs in those last 3 starts. But you know what? 2 of those games were to the Washington Nationals, and the Braves failed to cover in 2 out of his last 3 starts, and 2 of those being to the Nationals. I kind of look at the Nationals as a mirror image type team as the Angels, right? They have the offense to do it. Now, do they do it consistently? No. And that's why the Angels and the Nationals are both, teams that have disappointed a lot of people this year. But they do have the firepower to do it if they wake up on the right side of the bed. I trust the Angels in that regard. And look, the line, I'm trying to point out, there's a lot of discrepancy in the stats too. Offensively, Atlanta, the much better offense, 4th in OPS, Angels 26th in OPS, and then in bullpens, Atlanta 4th in bullpen ERA, Angels 20th in bullpen ERA. You tell me why it should be a minus 110 pick 'em on the run line for a team that just got absolutely blown out the night before. I don't see it. I am blindly betting, blind faith in Angels and in line reading and fading the public. And if those principles don't agree with you, that's fine. But you know what, Austin? I need you to grab that NRFI Nation flag. I need you to play the music. Let's go, NRFI Nation.
It is NRFI Nation time, baby. That's what everyone comes for. And we're getting back to flying these flags 1-1 since post All-Star break, and we are getting into it. Now today we will last a little bit longer than we did yesterday. Marlins Pirates is our nowhere on first inning pick, -115 on BetMGM. Now we do see, almost every book's right around the same value, so we're all fine with that. We don't have a line on FanDuel, which is surprising, but let's talk about this one. On the mound for the Pirates today will be Jose Quintana. He's a lefty. He's 14-4 on NRFIs this year, 8-2 at home. He's been a very solid pitcher. Now, we were just talking with the Marlins yesterday. We didn't take their team total or anything, but they hit it. They finally got bounced back, and they scored like 8 runs yesterday. I don't see them doing that again. They obviously were a team that went 34 innings straight scoreless. So I think Mr. Quintana can get me those first 3 outs. Hopefully the next guy can too, Logan.
Yeah, Max Meyer. How about Max Meyer, right? Never allowed a first inning run in his career. Boom. Great stat. Now, he is a young pitcher, and he's only started one other time. But you know what? Some of those pitchers, that you haven't seen before present some problems. And I think he'll be able to navigate through this Pittsburgh offense. Look, Pittsburgh 28th in first inning runs. Miami, you mentioned 29th in first inning runs. These are 2 back-of-the-pack offenses. And Pittsburgh did just trade, Vogelbach to the Mets. So for what that's worth, they're going to be reshuffling the top half of the order. Yeah, we got to get through the Key Brian Hayes and Newman probably. But I really just, trust these 2 pitchers to get us those 3 outs. Then they can go implode and do whatever they want. Over under set to 8. Not a whole lot of fireworks between these 2 teams expected. Austin, yesterday we bet against a really good offense in the Astros, and we did get burned by an Altuve solo blast. But if we get burned in this one, it'll just be extremely fluky. And that's what you have to be fine with, NRFI Nation. You just have to ask yourself, if this offense ruins me, can I sleep at night? Absolutely. That's why we're going to fly the flags today. NRFI Nation, let's go.
Yeah, baby. And, it's left a sour taste in my mouth going to bed, having to watch that Altuve bomb. But today we're flying those flags. Those are our 4 picks of the day. Let us know your favorite picks down below in the comment section. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Austin, Logan, we'll be back again tomorrow morning. We'll see you guys then, hopefully bringing out the brooms. See you guys on Sunday.